So currently, this tool has a few interactive dashboards and data tables. And you can navigate through these via the tabs at the top. The first dashboard that we're going to look at today is called the National Dashboard. And this has 3 graphs and a filter at the top that enables interaction with the dashboard. You can select a country you wish to look at from the drop-down menu. And you can see a list of all the countries that we currently have included in the tool. You can filter the data by frequency band group to look at different frequency ranges, or you can look at the data by frequency band on its own. The graph on the left-hand side shows total spectrum assigned at country level by frequency band. If you hover over the graph, you can see more information for a particular band. For example, here in Korea, operators have access to 2,400 megahertz in the 28 gigahertz band. And we can see this information for all the other bands. The lower graph shows spectrum assigned at country level by operator and by frequency band. And again, if we hover over the graph, we can see more information that relates to each particular band for each of the mobile operators that operate in that particular country we are looking at. In this particular case, because of the high amount of megahertz assigned in millimeter wave band, the graph is quite squeezed and it's quite hard to read. So if we filter out millimeter wave spectrum, the graph and the dashboard itself, it updates accordingly. So now we can see a bit more clearly. However, in this view, it's quite hard to do a straightforward comparison between operators. So to enable that comparison, we created a dashboard with an alternative view. And here we can easily see and compare how much spectrum operators have available in each assigned frequency band. And I'm going to select millimeter wave again, just so we have all the bands assigned in Korea. And we can see very clearly the 3 operators, and we can compare how much spectrum they have. Going back to the national dashboard, the third graph shows planned assignments by frequency band. And again, if we hover over, we can see more information about the planned assignments. The color coding shows the status of a planned assignment, whether it's still at consultation level or if the assignment process is confirmed. For example, here in Korea, the 24 gigahertz band is under consultation, and the regulator is looking to release 2000 megahertz of spectrum in this band. Because planned spectrum assignment is quite a hot topic, we have created a specific dashboard to enable users to explore this into a bit more detail. And this is the planned assignment dashboard. Again, we have some filters at the top. We can select a specific frequency range, or we can look at the data by region. And the list is going to populate based on the selection made within the filters. Again, if we hover over the table, we can see more details on particular planned assignments. For example, here in Argentina, we can see that 3.5 gigahertz band is under consultation with a view to release 300 megahertz of spectrum, and the estimated date of assignment is 2022. The color coding refers to the status of the planned assignment, whether that is a confirmed date, or is that still a consultation stage, or if it has been postponed. There is also a menu that enables filtering of planned assignments by network generation. And currently this is set to enable easy filtering of assignments for 5G earmark spectrum. So we can see all the 5G bands. Apart from the 3 dashboards, there are a number of tables with different data cuts. These enable users to explore the database further and help answer specific questions. The first table here shows spectrum assigned at country level by frequency band. The total spectrum assigned is split to show paired and unpaired spectrum at band level. And there are also some filters on the side which enable users to build their own table. You can select a country or a list of countries. You can select a particular frequency band, or we can look at the data by region. The next table shows more granular data on planned assignments. And we can see here details on frequency band and the corresponding 3GPP and NR bands. We can see the type of assignment planned, if that is known, the planned date of assignment, and the amount of megahertz for each particular band that is planned to be awarded, if that is known. Moving on to the next table, this shows data related to license obligations. The data here is very granular. It's at band, operator, and license level. This enables users to see obligations that relate to a particular license. The obligations that we cover are currently split in a few categories. We have population and geographical coverage, network deployment or investment obligations, what we call open access, and other. So if we scroll down this table, we can see a list of all the licenses that we currently have in the database with the associated license obligations, if these exist. The next table looks at license renewals and implicitly duration of licenses. Again, data is displayed here at band, operator, and license level. We can see here the license start date and the end date if this is reported, as well as the date when the license has been assigned. We can see the license duration in years, and we can also see any potential extension permitted after the initial license term, if this is stipulated in the license conditions at the beginning of the term. I think the demo has paused for a bit. Thank you. That's the duration in years and the extension. The next two tables in the tool have different splits of current spectrum assignments at operator level. In one of the previous tables, we looked at spectrum assignment at country level. Here in this particular table, we have the split at band and operator level. So we can see here, for example, Afghanistan is the first country. Alphabetically, we can see the amount of the spectrum amount that operators have in each band. And if we scroll down, we can see a list of all the countries that we currently have in the database and the associated spectrum assignments. The next table, in the next table, there is even more granular data showing where within the frequency band a particular operator has its frequencies assigned. If you look at a particular example here, and again, let's select Afghanistan because it's the first country in the list alphabetically. And let's look at 900 megahertz band. we can see the list of operators who have spectrum in this band and where within the band they are licensed to operate. So with other words, what are the exact frequency blocks they have? And we can see the split, we can see the uplink and the associated downlink details.